and whose quagmire sucked men's legs and sapped strength. 2 days of half-starved fighting so that the English king could seize the city that traditionally crowned every king of France. New Year had passed, but Edward wanted that crown. "My prince!" Blackstone yelled as the king's son slipped. He leapt forward, slamming his shield into mail-clad foot soldiers, forcing himself between fighters who had poured from the city gates, wild with fear and determination to stop the vile English horde from advancing, and thinking that they might seize Edward's son. The sight of the prince falling to his knees gave them renewed courage, but then they saw the shield bearing Blackstone's blazon, the mailed fist clasping the sword-blade. Its cruciform and declaration, "Défions à la mort," heralded death and made them falter. To stand against the renowned Englishman, whose very name was enough to make men surrender before his violence was unleashed, was an invitation few would accept. But the weight of those behind pushed them forward. Frenzy ruled the day. Bloodlust defeated fear. They fell on Blackstone. His shield took the blows of mace and sword as he half bent his body, turning their blows away and thrusting with killing jabs of wolf swords hardened steel. As he spun around, he caught sight of the Prince of Wales vomiting. He spewed across his own men, and those who lay dead and dying at his feet. A banner dipped as willing hands reached for him. Rich food, and plenty of it, Blackstone thought derisively. A king's table groaning with succulent cuts and rich sauces, a sight he and his men would never see, let alone share. Most of the troops were starving. Man and horse had been deprived of supplies as the French burned food stores ahead of the English advance, and the flooded rivers ran with waste, poisoned by slaughtered carcasses. Deny the English invaders supplies, and they will be defeated, had been the Dauphin's command. A worthless son of a worthless French king in a worthless land in a worthless war. For Christ's sake, what were they dying for in this country, in this ditch? Blackstone backhanded Wolf Sword's pommel into a Frenchman's face contorted with hate and purpose. Then he rammed the rim of his shield beneath the chin of another. He shifted his weight, allowed a strike against him, saw the man stumble past, left him to die beneath John Jacob's sword, and then surrendered to the blood haze that filled his mind and softened the roar of the battle. He was cocooned in the place he knew well. Now the killing rage was with him again. His instinct to kill and maim enveloped him like a rising tide and swept him along, a warring demon blessed by the angels. Beneath the rolling clouds that brought the swirling curtains of rain, a darker storm swept across the battlements. English archers laid a deluge of arrows onto the city walls. Blackstone saw the bowmen in his mind's eye, felt their effort in his heart. Knock, draw, loose. Sheaves of arrows, carried by pages and anyone else ordered to feed the greatest weapon in the king's army, would be borne relentlessly to the thousands of archers. Will Longdon would be in the Sawtooth line, with his men, Jack Halfpenny, Robert Thurgood, men who had fought and suffered with Thomas Blackstone. All of them had swept across France during the years of war, back and forth to Italy, where Blackstone and his men defended the road to Florence, until finally returning to France a year before last. It was there an Italian assassin had ripped away Blackstone's heart by slaying his wife and child. Blackstone led the assault, as the English swarmed forward under cover of the arrows that kept the wall's defenders' heads down. 2 wooden assault towers were pushed and pulled towards the battlements as carpenters and engineers dragged cut trees and building timber forward across the defences, using them to breach the